Most people think of a pantry as a side cabinet with a few cans, some pasta, maybe a forgotten jar of peanut butter in the back. Nothing special. But for the Amish, the pantry is something entirely different. It's not just a room, it's a way of life, a system, a safety net built on planning, hard work, and knowing that once the first snow falls, you won't be running to the store anytime soon. Walk into an Amish pantry and you're stepping into something timeless. Wooden shelves from floor to ceiling, jars lined up like soldiers. Nothing's flashy, nothing's labeled with colorful branding, but everything has its place. Everything was filled by hand. You won't find expiration dates printed in ink, just neat little notes written in pencil, maybe with the date it was canned, maybe just Peaches August. Inside those jars, food that came from right outside their back door. Green beans snapped fresh and pressure canned that same day. Whole tomatoes, corn, peaches, stewed meat in thick broth. Rows and rows of applesauce, pear butter, chow chow, pickled beets, all preserved when the garden was overflowing, so there's something to eat when nothing's growing. And it's not just jars. There are big cloth sacks of oats, dried beans, flour ground at a local mill, buckets of lard from butchering day, homemade vinegar in glass jugs, a jar of horseradish maybe, or a tin of molasses from last year's batch. In some homes, there's a cool room or a root cellar dug right into the ground. In it, crates of potatoes, onions, and apples are stacked up carefully, layered with straw or newspaper. It's cold and quiet down there. No light bulbs humming, no plastic crinkling, just the steady smell of earth and produce doing what it's always done, keeping itself good as long as you let it. What's especially impressive is the variety. Most of us might think of preserved food as boring. Rice and beans, maybe some canned tuna. But the Amish pantry is colorful, full of flavor. Dried herbs hanging from a beam. Ropes of garlic and onions braided by hand. Homemade noodles stored in wide-mouthed jars. Sometimes you'll find sausage hanging to dry, or salted beef wrapped in cloth. There's no microwave involved, no freezer, no vacuum-sealed bags. Just old methods that work because people kept them alive by doing, not Googling. Everything in the pantry has a story. That jar of blackberry jam, picked during that 1 week in July when the berries are just right. The canned chicken, probably from that morning, plucked and processed before lunch. The lard in the tin, stirred over a fire by someone's grandmother who doesn't measure, just knows by feel when it's done. It's not just about food, it's about rhythm. The rhythm of seasons of planting and harvesting, of work and rest. The Amish don't stock up because they're afraid of collapse. They do it because that's the cycle. That's how you feed a family when you can't just run out for milk or order takeout on a whim. And it works. Families with 6, 8, 10 people, feeding everyone 3 meals a day off what's in that pantry. It takes time. It takes planning. But it's steady, reliable, grounded. They don't waste much either. What can't be canned might be dried. What can't be eaten today becomes soup tomorrow. Chicken bones become broth. Extra cucumbers become pickles. It's a loop, not a line, and very little gets thrown out. There's something kind of peaceful about that, knowing you have what you need. Not because you panic bought a bunch of stuff, but because you grew it, you cooked it, and you put it away just like the people before you did. It's not flashy, it's not Instagrammable, but it's honest. And maybe there's something we can learn from that. Not necessarily to copy everything, but to appreciate the idea behind it. That preparing for the future isn't about fear, it's about care, about looking ahead, using your hands, and trusting your work. So yeah, next time you open your cupboard and say, "There's nothing to eat," just remember, somewhere out there, an Amish mother is cooking dinner for 10, entirely from a pantry built by memory, season, and time. If this gave you something to think about, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you're into stories like this, slow, simple, but full of meaning, you're welcome to stick around. There's more coming. Thanks for watching.